Welcome back. As residents in the national capital continue to reel under severe water crisis and also power shortage amid a heat wave, the Supreme Court today came down heavily on the Delhi government, pulling them up for inaction on the tanker mafia and also water wastage in the national capital. The political blame game continues. Delhi BJP President Virendra Sachdeva met the Delhi Police Commissioner, also submitted a complaint demanding inquiry into the alleged Delhi government Jal Board scam and tanker mafia nexus. He also said that water meant for the city was being stolen with the Delhi government's permission. This comes even as Delhi government continues to blame Haryana for Delhi's water problems and water troubles. But let's quickly start by talking about the observations made by the top court of the country. Delhi's water crisis, remember, continues to escalate, but the Supreme Court came down heavily on the Aam Aadmi Party government, said if you can't deal with tanker mafia, we will ask the Delhi police to act. What measures, the Supreme Court asks, have you taken to control water wastage? Another observation by the top court, every news channel showing how people are suffering and says file an affidavit detailing measures to control water wastage. So the Aam Aadmi Party will have to essentially come out with a reply to the top court stating the measures it has taken in that step. As far as the war of words is concerned, we've seen it break out between the two sides. As far as the Delhi water crisis is concerned, the BJP is taken on the Aam Aadmi Party. It says the water scam is taking place after the liquor scam in the national capital. The Aam Aadmi Party, in its defense, has come out to say that excessive demand of water is due to the heat wave. They've solely pinned it on the weather and the heat wave conditions. The BJP continues to mount its attack, says the Aam Aadmi Party government must now pay heed to the Supreme Court's observations, and the SC observations have most certainly gone against the Aam Aadmi Party. The AAP in its defense says that they're trying to get extra water from Haryana and Himachal Pradesh. They continue to talk about the neighbouring states of Haryana and Himachal Pradesh. The BJP then says the Aam Aadmi Party government is corrupt. AAP though says that we will come out with a solution very soon. But how soon? Because the people of the national capital, remember, have been waiting for the longest time now, and they say this water crisis is not new to us. So with the Supreme Court now wrapping the Aam Aadmi Party in, with politics speaking, a big question is, can the Aam Aadmi Party, and for how long can they duck responsibility? Let's hear for the war of words that's been ongoing between the two sides, and then we'll open this up with our experts joining us.
बहुत दुखद है कि आज केंद्र सरकार और राज्य सरकार के आपसी झगड़ों को लेकर, पॉलिटिकल राइवलरी को लेकर यहाँ की आम जनता सफर कर रही है और सुप्रीम कोर्ट को उसमें इंटरवीन करना पड़ रहा है। क्या केंद्र सरकार सिर्फ एक तमाशा देखने वाली सरकार है?
शराब घोटाले के बाद अब वाटर टैंकर घोटाला, पानी घोटाला जो आम आदमी पार्टी कर रही है वो सामने आ चुका है।
इस बार गर्मी जो बढ़ी है, टेम्परेचर बढ़ा है, उससे जो है लोगों की वो डिमांड बढ़ी है।
Allow me to quickly introduce you Siddharth Sharma, spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party, with us on this broadcast. Shazia Elmi, national spokesperson of the BJP, continues as well. Abhinash Mohanty, sector head, climate change and sustainability at IP Global, to give an overall citizen's perspective. And where does this problem really stem from? Good evening to all of you. Siddharth, the first question is going to be asked of the Aam Aadmi Party given the Supreme Court's observations. You're going to have to now file a reply and talk about the measures that have been taken by the Aam Aadmi Party to really fix this problem. What is being done so there is no water wastage? Because it's clearly being seen in the national capital. For how long are you going to continue with the blame game?
Yeah, right at the outset, we will reply to the Supreme Court since the law of the land requires us to do that. It's the highest body. I'll try to just give you the contours of it. But before that, first of all, commiserations to those affected in the dastardly terrorist attack in Pir Panjal. So I hope justice prevails and the terrorists are apprehended. And this is the first time, Kritzveen, I'm on your program, so I don't know the contours of it. How do you manage this? So if you give me 2 minutes, I'll try to explain the whole thing.
Don't worry about that, sir. Please go ahead.
That's why I just wanted to give a caveat because this is the first time on Plain Speak I'm with you, so I don't know how you operate. Anyway, I'll try to.
Regardless, sir, you're here to put out the Aam Aadmi Party's version, so please go ahead.
Please carry on.
We don't have too much time. Please go ahead.
Okay. I'll be brief and finish it off in the next 2 minutes. Point number one, where is the water coming from for Delhi? With Himachal Pradesh, we have an agreement for 1050 cusecs daily, and it is in the Supreme Court. And the Haryana government's affidavit in the Supreme Court says that for the 25 days in May, less than 1,000 cusecs of water was released from Haryana. Even as of 9th of June, only 985 out of the 1,050 cusecs water was released by Haryana. Point number one. Point number two, regarding the water tanker issue. In the summer of 2023, that is exactly 1 year ago, there were 1,200 tankers in Delhi. As of June 2024, 1 year later this year, when we are facing an unprecedented summer and water crisis, instead of the water tankers going higher up, the water tankers have come down to 888 water tankers. This is despite reminders to the Delhi Jal Board CEO that tankers have not yet been increased. This clearly seems a potential collusion of executive with the tanker mafia. Since this is a criminal act and this is a law and order issue, the police of Delhi is answerable, and that's what Atishi has asked it. Now, as far as the theme of the program, the topic says that can aap ducket. Can aap ducket.
Very interesting that the Aam Aadmi Party has been asked all of these questions by the Supreme Court. How is it that the Delhi police has so much answering to do?
I want to come in.
Siddharth?
I'll tell you.
Can I come in? No.
Is Shazia running the show?
Can I come in, please?
Prithvi, is Shazia running the show?
Siddharth, 30 seconds and
No,
then
you
I
have to speak
need to go to her.
non-stop.
You've spoken about a couple of issues. I really need her to come in. Shazia, I'm coming to you. 30 seconds. You have 30 seconds, Siddharth. Please make your point.
According to the BJP, Krithvin, as per the BJP, under the new law, Delhi government is equal to the LG of Delhi. So the LG of Delhi is answerable. Our government is not considered as a government by the BJP. It is just a medium of delivery. Enough of this BJP ecosystem pulling a fast one on India. People have already rejected.
Okay, to begin with, let's start with basics, Siddharth. Shazia, who's supposed to fix the water problem in the national capital? Is it the Delhi police?
Okay, okay, thank you for giving me time after having waited for a while, actually, almost 6 minutes.
No, you intervened twice.
Siddharth,
repeats itself.
Please. I began with you, sir. I'm going to have to request you to please let her come in.
Shazia, you intervened twice. When I was speaking,
Let's not be childish, Siddharth. Please let her have a say. Shazia, go ahead.
His need to shriek. So his shrieking itself is a testament to the fact that they have been caught napping and lying through their teeth. And history repeats itself, and far too often when it comes to Aam Aadmi Party. Just 6 months back, we were discussing pollution, and we know what this was going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Did you hear what Supreme Court had to say today? Supreme Court clearly rebuked Aam Aadmi Party and said, what has been your action plan? Do you know there was no midsummer action plan? They were doing jail to bail to jail politics. None of the ministers were present. And they were lying about Haryana government because the affidavit is right here with me, saying it has supplied exactly the amount that it has been supplied.
All this Aam Aadmi Party was doing, Shazia, while the Prime Minister of India was going down with the
Okay.
Shrieking, pathetic
So
liar
speaking
be
over someone else is not going to ensure that your point is conveyed to the audiences. We're going to have to go one by one. But what Shazia is saying, Siddharth, what Shazia is saying, Mr. Sharma.
Allow me to finish. I will leave the show.
Okay, go ahead. Shazia, 30 seconds. Go ahead.
That is very unfair. No, just because these... No, I want to ask you, just because these people bully you...
No, that's why I came in and I said, you can't speak over someone else to make your point. I said it. Shazia, go ahead. Complete yourself.
So my second point is, it's very clear, and Supreme Court has mentioned it, that Himachal Pradesh is the government. Now they're blaming Himachal Pradesh. So you can see the whole AAP Congress camaraderie there. They were putting in Haryana deliberately because they wanted to make it a political. Everything is political. Now let me come to the third point. Wazirabad barrage, and I study environment. It's one of my subjects. Whether it's pollution or this, it's not. There has been no sledging done. It has to be desilted. For the last 8 years, the capacity has come down. So even if Haryana sends water, the water can't be handled. And the tanker mafia. Now, and the Supreme Court has asked, the two judges have asked, if the water has been coming in from Himachal, where is it going? Tanker mafia gets it first and takes money for it, profiteering. The same thing that they did with excise, instead of government of Delhi, NCT profiting, it is a private player. Same thing, disgusting and sad that it is. And all they do is blame game, and lies. And Delhi police, suddenly Delhi police is a picture. Why does Atishi have the water ministry? She should resign. They say we can't do anything. I mean, when you can't do anything when it comes to environment, transport, pollution, and water, say you're inept and leave. if center is supposed to do everything?
Okay, those are Shazia's concerns, Siddharth. But even if you don't want to believe in what the BJP is saying, here's what the top court has said, and I quote verbatim: if you can't deal with tanker mafia, it's being asked to the Aam Aadmi Party, not the Delhi police. The Supreme Court says if you can't deal with tanker mafia, we will ask Delhi police to act. What does this tell you, Siddharth?
It tells me that the Supreme Court is taking action on the LG of Delhi, because as per the BJP, the government of Delhi is equal to the LG of Delhi. I think I've already said that. I'm repeating it. No point in repetition. If the BJP claims, I think
Supreme Court
BJP
is
should
not become very
understand.
evil, no?
If BJP should
Supreme Court
understand,
has suddenly
Shazia, that
become
you
very
cannot
evil
run
now
with
for
the
you.
hare and with the hound at the same time. When the
Yeah.
moment you say the LG
Yeah,
is the
Shreef.
supreme authority of
Shreef,
Delhi,
Shreef.
the Supreme Court,
Shreef
while
and
it is
scream.
castigating, it is castigating.
So are we going to, Siddharth, have to wait for
Keep
another
shrieking.
round of the Supreme Court
Keep
hearing for the
shrieking.
top court to clarify
Keep
that
shrieking.
the message was actually asked of the Aam Aadmi Party and not the Lieutenant Governor? Is that what you're
No,
saying?
it was asked to the Lieutenant Governor, because as per the new law, the Lieutenant Governor is the government of Delhi as per the
No, it was
BJP.
not.
Okay,
And-
so
Don't lie.
with
Stop
Atishi
lying.
at the
Have some
helm of
shame,
Water
yeah. They're not
Ministry,
fools.
the Aam Aadmi Party's got no work to do?
No, I told you, as per the new law, Aam Aadmi Party is not government, but just a medium of delivery. It is like a Zomato boy, Zomato delivery boy.
Sir, is that
And
what
the
you're going to
Zomato
tell the
delivery
people
boy
of the
is
national
doing
capital
well.
when you ask for
We have
votes
93
for the next
members.
assembly
The
tenure?
tanker mafia, we are trying-
Mr.
we have
Siddharth,
asked- we have asked
is that
the-
what
we
the
have
Aam
asked
Aadmi
the
Party
that the police have
is
to
going to
be
say
now
to the
deployed
voter?
to ensure that the tanker mafia doesn't work?
Is that what you're going to say to the voter when you seek votes next for the assembly elections? That we've got nothing to do with what happens in Delhi, whether or not you get water, electricity, there is a power outage or not. We've got nothing to do with it.
Himachal, Haryana,
I
Punjab,
think,
LG,
Christine,
everybody
enough of
but
this
you.
BJP ecosystem
No,
pulling
sir.
a
These are
fast one on
questions that the
India.
Supreme Court
BJP,
today asked.
Delhi is not going to
It's
vote tomorrow.
asked
Let's not
the
get
Aam
into
Aadmi
voting
Party to
pattern.
come out with
The
a reply,
Delhi.
and that's where my question is coming from.
Christine, let us
Then
understand
resign,
enough
why
of this
people of
BJP
Delhi suffer?
ecosystem pulling a fast one over India. You guys also got the exit poll wrong. Do I ask the
Sir,
answer of
let's
this
not digress.
question?
Let's
Or do
not
you ask
digress.
the- do I
Let's
ask
not
the
digress.
owner
It's
of
not
your
going to
program?
help anyone's cause. All right, I'm gonna quickly allow our third speaker to come in. We'll allow both of you to rest for a while. And I want to take in a word from Abhinash before we take this forward with the two of you all once again. And those are questions that need to be asked of the BJP, of the Aam Aadmi Party. So we'll come back to that. But Abhinash, how do you look at this? The Supreme Court's observations, very scathing in nature. It's a rap almost that's being sent out by the top court. And the visuals speak for itself, isn't it? There are people standing with buckets in large queues, long queues. They're waiting for, or rather fighting for water.
Yeah. Good evening, Kritswin and Sazia and Siddharth. Good evening. I've been silently hearing the conversation that has been happening. I'll refrain myself from blaming anyone at this. Let's speak about science because that's where I come from. Let's talk about with numbers. You said that the visuals speak of the volumes. I would rather say numbers speak of volumes. The Niti Aayog came up with a water stress index last year, and Delhi was the second most kind of water stress place. And it's a fact out there in the public. And every time, whether it's an air pollution problem or it's a water pollution problem, once we have a wake up call, then only we wake up. We need to be prepared. That's where it is missing. And more importantly, this water crisis, a lot of blame game has also happened that because of heat wave, there is an surge in terms of the water stress across Delhi and Delhi NCR. But the fact remains that heat wave is not a new thing for Delhi, right? Heat wave has been happening, and as we move on in the years to come, the science says that the heat wave is going to improve by 2050 in terms of ravaging more lives and livelihood. And once you have lives and livelihood being ravaged, the first thing comes in terms of basics. So we'll have to treat climate change, of course, as an emergency, but more importantly, in terms of natural resource management, that's where the bug starts in terms of preparing it. Delhi is also a place where 60% of our landscapes has been disrupted. As a result, what has happened is the natural reservoirs, the lakes, the ponds have also been encroached. And that's where the natural buffer system within the ecosystems have been digressed.
Okay, since you're speaking from a factual position, Abhinash, sorry to interrupt you there, but I have two follow-up questions. One,
Yes.
this is a problem that Delhiites face year in and out, isn't it? Except that this year, perhaps, we're seeing that this crisis has peaked and it's heightened, and that's why it's made it to the headlines. It should be spoken of more often. The fact that we keep hearing from the Aam Aadmi Party that Haryana is not releasing enough water, they're not giving us enough water. How factually correct is that argument, and how much can a Haryana or a Himachal Pradesh help, for example, in this case?
Well, in terms of interstate kind of collaboration and water transfer, I think there is a chance, and Delhi has been getting water from other neighboring states. So that's where it is. But my point out here is that the water crisis that we are facing is something that we had envisioned it. It's not a new thing that the crisis has just aggravated. And now once it has aggravated, we are just shifting the goalposts. So that's point number one. Second is, rather than shifting the political goalpost, we'll have to try to fix our landscape. The feasible landscapes need to be fixed, and that's where both, I think, irrespective of any party, will have to fix it, because the citizens have to come down. The second thing is, in terms of natural resources, like we have a solar scheme, we need to come up with watershed management schemes, and that is pertinent both at a state level as well as a central level to pitch in, and that's where the whole
those are some of the collective efforts that must see the light of the day. But Siddharth, to quickly come back to you, because we don't want to indulge in blame game. We don't want to do that on our show here. I want to understand from you two simple things on what the Aam Aadmi Party plans to do with regards to the water crisis and the tanker mafia nexus. It's been spoken of by the top court. Just give us two solutions. We don't want to engage in this blame game.
Fine. Two solutions. Water crises, interstate water crises are not new in India, not just between Haryana and Delhi. There is a water crisis between Tamil Nadu and Karnataka also.
I don't want to make it interstate, Siddharth, because, you know, when there's a flood situation, Haryana is to be blamed. When there's a water crisis situation, Haryana is to be blamed.
Kritsveen, I did not blame anyone.
Thing to do.
Can I complete? Can I complete?
Okay,
Can
go
I
ahead.
complete?
No,
Go ahead. Shazia, I need to quickly wrap this up. Let him have his say. I need to quickly wrap this up so we come to a conclusion on what the Aam Aadmi Party plans to do.
No, I want to say something. They will talk about Rio de Janeiro. They will talk about what's happening in Argentina.
Okay, all right. So let's see what the Aam Aadmi Party tells the Supreme Court. It most certainly is a blame game, though the citizen of the national capital surely feels that this is not the need of the hour. Our concerns should be addressed. We need water, and that's what we care about.